Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, just welcome. I'm Joanna, for those of you who don't know me, and I've been on a weight loss journey with Mounjaro for a year and a half now. I'm currently on 7.5 milligrams and I take my dose as a split dose, which I'll go into in a separate video. But today we're going to be going through my weekly weigh-in. So every Wednesday I do a weekly weigh-in. I have weighed myself weekly since I was a young girl. It's just an old habit that I have, but it's one that serves me very well, because on times in my life when I haven't weighed myself and I haven't been aware of my weight, it just gets completely out of control and I pretend it's not happening. So I weigh myself once a week. I do weigh myself daily as well with Team RH, as they have an average weekly weigh-in, but that's not what we're going to be talking about today. Today I'm going to be talking about my Wednesday weigh-in on my Arbaleaf body composition scales. I like to use body composition scales because weight loss is more than just about the number. It's about how your body's made up, and because I was wanting to build a stronger body, not just a thinner one. It was really important to me to understand how much fat I had, how much muscle I had, and if I was losing the right type of weight. Because yes, there is a right and a wrong type of weight to lose. So let's start with the number on the scale this morning, which I can't believe I'm going to be sharing my weight on the internet, but here we are. It'll keep me on track, and if it helps someone else feel a little bit less alone, then it's worth it. So this morning I weighed in at 14 stone 1 pound, which is about 196, 197 pounds. That takes my total weight loss to, I think, 128 pounds, 126 pounds, something like that, which is quite unbelievable. It's over 9 stone that I've lost, so an entire human being off my body. Kind of shocking to think I was walking around with that for so long, that weight on me. But yeah, very happy this morning about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys through the Arbaleaf app, show you how I track everything, show you my body composition, and yeah, just show you a little bit of how I track all of that. So I'm just going to pull the Arbaleaf up now. It should be appearing just here on the side of the screen. So here we have it. Arbaleaf is just a cheap at-home body composition scale. I have had full body composition done through Bluecrest Health. Definitely worthwhile doing if you're at the start of your journey, or if you want to know a little bit more about how your body's made up. But for at-home scales, these are fine. All of the measurements here came pretty close to the Bluecrest measurements. The only thing that was out was my visceral fat. My visceral fat registers higher on these scales than they do on Bluecrest, so I'm going with Bluecrest as the one that I'm going to believe. Whether or not that's correct, I don't know, but I'm more likely to trust a healthcare company over a cheap set of at-home scales. Okay, so here we have my weight. I also have my body measurements. So this morning I did do my measurements. I have an Arbaleaf Smart Tape measure. Measurements are really good for when the scale's not cooperating with you. It shows you that you're losing inches, which is actually what we all want. We want to be losing inches, certainly at the start of our journey. And sometimes the scale masks those things, for a number of reasons, which I'll go into in a little minute. But I'll show you my body measurements after we go through all of the weight. So here we have the weight: 14 stone 1 pound, BMI 32.1 and body fat 39.4. I'm really happy with the body fat. I had a goal to get it under 40%. You'll see in a minute where I started. Women, we want our body fat to be in a healthy range, to be around that 30% mark, so still a little bit of work to go, but very happy about the trajectory. Okay, so here we have my total weight loss: 9 stone 2 pounds, 125 to 130 pounds, BMI minus 20.8 points. It's I can't stop looking at that number and believe that it's real. So yeah, anyway, let's get on to the tracking. Okay, so here we have my weight chart, and I'm just going to wind it right back to the start. So you can see my highest weight here. I cannot even say that number. I'm a bit horrified by it. But as it is, it's where we were starting, and if the person who was that weight didn't make the decision to change, I wouldn't be sitting here talking about this today. So you can see I had a huge drop off. at the start, and then we had just a downward trajectory, down, 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 down. But what I want to show you, there have been a few bumps along the road, and I just want to show you, see these little dips here, up and down, up and down. These were like when I went on holiday, things like that. I wasn't eating as well, I wasn't eating as high protein. I was always exercising because I do exercise when I'm on holiday. But the one I want to talk about is this one. Okay, so 15th of May. I was 14 stone 4.2, and I was the same weight 2 weeks in a row. Plateaus are definitely something I've experienced and we can talk about in a future video, but there's just something you have to deal with on a big weight loss journey. So here I went on holiday, and then within a week I went back up to 14 stone 11. I would have been horrified if I was me a year and a half ago. But I know now that 14 stone 11 is not fat gain. It's just not. It is sodium and water retention from eating chicken tenders and waffles for breakfast every morning on a cruise, which I very much enjoyed. But this is where you start to see weight loss is a mental game. It's not a physical game. Well, it is physical for your gains, but it's mostly mental. It's mostly in our heads. I think especially as women, we tend to punish ourselves when we see this. We just want to like get it off. Either that or you do what I do and go into total shutdown mode where I just continue eating everything for months before I would decide to get back on track again. So you can see here, came back 14 stone 11. Because I knew that wasn't fat gain, because in order to gain a pound of fat we need to eat 3,500 calories over our maintenance calories. I knew I didn't eat that much, I knew I exercised, I also could feel the amount of water retention that I had. So I thought, I'm just going to get back onto it, this is my norm now, I enjoy the food that I'm eating now, so it's going to come back off. A week after, it was down at 14 stone 6.6, so almost the same weight I was before I went away, and I had a great time and ate plenty of not so good food on holiday. Then this week, 14 stone 1, 3 pounds less than I was prior to going on holiday. All because I could just get back onto my regular diet, get back to my regular life. So very happy, and I hope that demonstrates that when you have these fluctuations, when you go on holiday, you can enjoy yourself. Just come back and get right back on it, get right back to normal life. Your holiday is the exception, not your diet, not your normal life. This is why you have to build a lifestyle. You can't just be on diets forever. You have to build a lifestyle. So yeah, let's go on to body fat percentage. So body fat percentage, I started at 62.7. Unbelievable. 62.7%. I mean, it was fat. Now the reason I got to that point is through bad diet cycles. So since I was about 17, I've dieted on and off. I've lost 50, 60, 70 pounds at a time. I certainly didn't look the way that I look now in terms of my muscle structure. Even then, if I lost, and what I would do is I would lose the weight, but I would lose it, didn't exercise, didn't eat high protein, ate as much bread as I wanted because I was told you can eat as much bread as you want as long as you're within your points. Didn't understand macros. And when you eat and diet like that, what happens is you lose a lot of weight quite quickly, but you lose muscle. So you're not preserving your muscle mass. Your muscle mass dictates your metabolism. And these are all things that I didn't know, that I have learned over the past 18 months. So my cycle would be diet, lose a lot of weight, but lose muscle. Then get to a point where I can't diet anymore, like I just have a binge, let's say. Then put weight on, but the weight I put back on is fat, so my body fat percentage is higher than it was before I started, which means my metabolism is lower, so I put the weight on faster. This cycle has been repeating for me for 20 years. For 20 years. And I've finally managed to break it. So this just highlights the importance of losing weight the right way. Because if you don't, you're just going to punish yourself forever in this cycle of, you know, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight. It's not good. It's not good for you mentally either. So you can see here, just decline. This is because I started strength training and high protein diet right from the start. And we get to today, 39.4%, just under that 40% mark. So very happy about that. Still a way to go, but we're getting there. We're on the right path. BMI, Now, BMI is not a perfect measure by any means. It doesn't take into account body composition at all. It doesn't take into account muscle mass. But we need to get our BMI, well, I need to get my BMI below 30 for any potential surgery. So the world is what it is, we need to adapt to it. Started off at 52.9. 52.9. And today you can see my BMI has just declined as I've lost weight. A little bit of a spike here, but that's when I came back from holiday, and today is 32.1. Skeletal muscle, the exact opposite to fat. This is the amount of muscle you have around your bones. It's what helps you when you go into later life be able to support yourself easier. You can get up and down the stairs easier, you can get in and out of chairs easier, but really important, as we age it gets harder to build muscle. So what you want to do is maintain anything that you have, build it and then maintain is what we're going for. So you can see here my skeletal muscle was 21.8%, which is very, very low. This also dictates your metabolism. As your muscle mass and skeletal muscle rises, your metabolism will rise as well. Metabolism is linked to muscle, which I'll show you when we get to BMR. So you can see here, rising, 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 right up until today, when we are at 35.3. So my skeletal mass percentage will increase as my body fat percentage goes down, because obviously my weight is dropping, but it's fat that's coming off me, so the amount of muscle I'm preserving as a percentage is going to go up. And here we just have the muscle mass. Now this tells a little bit of a different story. So when I started dieting, 7 stone 3.8 of me was muscle mass, and that is extremely low for the weight I was at the start. So you can see here we have strong upward growth until about here. So October last year. Was still going up, but very, very slowly. Since October last year, it's been pretty steady, even a little bit of a decline in recent months. So even though that has declined, and I'm now at 8 stone 2, even though that's declined, as if we remember, my skeletal muscle here was 35.3. So as a percentage, even though my muscle mass isn't growing anymore, as a percentage it is growing because I'm losing fat. Now, muscle mass, as I say, dictates your metabolism. So as we grow our muscle mass, our metabolism should be increasing. We can see that here with BMR. So your BMR is your basic metabolic rate. That is how much you burn just by doing nothing, just by being alive. This is how much you burn. Okay? So started at a pitiful 1430 calories. 9 stone heavier, and I was burning less calories at rest than I am now because of the amount of muscle I've gained. This is what makes it easy to keep the weight off once you're down at your goal weight, as long as you preserve your muscle. So you can see here, if we just go up, we're now at 1539 calories. So for me to maintain my weight, I need to eat 1539 calories plus whatever my exercise calories are a day, or my movement calories, which are usually around about 700 calories a day. So my maintenance calories are actually about 2,200, 2,300 calories, which I can't wait till the day when I'm at maintenance and I get to eat all those calories. I don't know how I'm going to eat them, but that's where we're aiming for. So as long as I'm below that, I'm in a calorie deficit, and my body will be losing weight. Okay, a little bit about subcutaneous fat here. Now subcutaneous fat, this has been declining as well. Started off at 53.4, and now we are at 34.5. Now subcutaneous fat is the fat you can see. It's the fat on your abdomen, your arms. That's all the fat you can see. So it's not so nice to look at, but it's not overly dangerous. The dangerous fat is actually your visceral fat. Your visceral fat is the fat that gathers around your organs and that you can't see. So when people say, you know, people are skinny fat, this is what they're talking about. They have visceral fat that you can't see. Okay, so I started at 27 for my visceral fat, and this is what I mean. Oh God, I'm getting a bit teary thinking about it. This is what I mean when it was, for me, this is about my health, because having that amount of visceral fat was taking years off my life. It was taking years off me. So this time, for me, this wasn't about how I look. This was never a confidence issue with me. I was doing this to be healthy. I was like, I need to do something to be healthy. So you can see that's had the same decline, and now we're at 14, but actually it's at 9. I know that through the Blue Cross study. So yeah, we've got body water, bone mass, and metabolic age never works. Apparently I'm 44, my metabolic age, so I don't really bother with that too much. Okay, so now I'm just going to show you guys my body measurements. Now, my body measurements, I took them this morning. I'm just going to have a little look here. I have lost over nearly 100 inches off of my body. Nearly 100 inches off my body. Which when I saw that this morning, I couldn't believe it because I'd not done my measurements for a couple of months. So here you can track them. It's really easy with the Arbelief scale as well. You just click it to record, and the Arbelief tape, and you just click it to record, and the tape will automatically send the measurements to the app. So if you go into tracking here, I also like to measure, by the way, my wrist and my wedding finger, just in case, you know, nothing's cooperating with me. I know, you know, I've lost a little bit around my wrists or my finger, just to keep me on track. Like I say, it's all mental and we do what we need to. Okay, so if we go into tracking, you can see here my waist started at 51, and this is where the strength training really shows, because if you want to lose inches, just start lifting some weights. You will lose inches. Now I'm down at 34, so that's a huge difference. Hip, similar story, 55, and now we're at 42. Abdomen, this is my stomach, 59.5, 43.88, and my chest, 52.75 down to 38.88. Now do your thighs, your arm, your neck. My neck actually is one, you can see here I didn't measure correctly that day. But my neck was actually the first place that my husband said he saw it, like all around here. I've been quite fortunate to lose a lot of the fat from that area, because it builds up in places that you just don't expect. Now we're down at 12.89. So yeah, that's the Arbelief app. I hope it was informative to you guys. For the first time in my life, I'm under 200 pounds as an adult. I'm sure there will be ups and downs with the scales. Today was an amazing day, but I'm sure there will be ups and downs. There has been in the past, there will be in the future. These sort of days are the days you have to remember that there's going to be more of them in the future. You just need to keep going. So that's all. And if you're struggling with getting started, I hope this helps a little bit for you. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.